Oh, shoot, boy. I don't even know why I'm doing this. But I can't quit you. I always go back to this thing, man. I always go back. I sell a little bit, then you know what I'm saying, I let it drop off a little bit. And I remember when I was asking people, quote unquote, my crypto, well, actually, one of my cryptocurrency Facebook friends, I've known this dude for years. You know what I'm saying? He acted like I was bothering him. He was like real quick and snappy with me. I was like, you nerd. So, when it went up and I had a little bit of money, I said, if I would have actually just not had paper hands and not sold my Dogecoin, I would have been up a couple grand. I would have been up, 20 grand off of what, $200-$300, $100 purchase when it went up. And see, y'all guys, like, when you look at this coin and you think, oh, it's just 30 cents right now. Well, fart. Let's go back. Let's go back when Bitcoin was first starting out. A lot of us was grown. A lot of us was riggedy grown and had $100 in our pocket. And think about the $100 purchases you made that year that really aren't around in your house anymore. Like the old TV, like the first big screen TVs that were out. That were 40 inches really is garbage right now. Because if you ain't got 80 in your house, 80 inch, 60 to 80 inch TVs, those TV, the 40 inch screen TVs that of yesterday, of 10 years ago are little, which is bananas because take back those TVs a few years prior to that and they were a few $1,000s. I think I spent, when I first bought my first flat screen television, no, it wasn't the first one. The first one was a little bitty TV. It was an Apex TV. But the first one that I bought, that one was $200 and some odd dollars, and that was just for a 20 inch. All right. And I happened to buy that because I won a little money at the casino. Fast forward a little bit more. Fast forward a little bit, I got a little bit of money that had come in and I spent $800 on a 40-inch screen TV. Now think about that. What do big screen TVs cost nowadays for a 40-inch? Not that much. It's always when technology gets faster, gets more, it ages more, that it gets slimmer, it gets smaller, and it gets more affordable. Now, I say this to say that. I say that to say this, is that those purchases, that $400 TV that I no longer have, that 40-inch screen TV that I no longer have, roughly cost me a couple $1 billion. So while I'm getting ready to buy this, and I did have a little paper hands, and I sold off my initial investment of Bitcoin not Bitcoin, but of Dogecoin, because I bought it when it was it was like less than a few cents. It was like 0.002 something, and it was worth air. And then what I was trying to convey to people was that y'all need to pay attention to this thing, even if it's a joke. If you got $100 in your pocket and you put it in, and it beats just letting it cool in a daggone me bank account or spending it on garbage that might not, pay off. And the idea is, what if? You're paying for the what if when you're buying cryptocurrency. What if this is the next big thing? Now, I jumped up, and a lot of people who had their money in it earlier on and just held on. I know a lot of people who had a few million in these things, and they were buying them when they were like less than a couple cents. And they couldn't get the vision where when it's less than a couple cents and it shoots up to to a couple dollars or whatever it was, that you're gonna make a lot of money, because this rolls in tenths. I don't know how the math is. I forget how. I used to know how all of it worked, because I was paying attention to the stock market. And I had the math down, but I could, but I understood that if I invested early, while it was very little, all it would take is for it to hit a few cents, and I'd make a lot of money. So where this thing sits right now is 30 cents, even though it's a lot more expensive than than it previously was to own this. Think about now, if in 8 years, this thing flips over and turns over into something really, really good, then the 80 or so dollars, or 50, 60, or 100 or $1,000 that you spend a day, and it nets you 20 or $30 million in the future, then why not spend it now? Versus going and spending it on a TV, going and spending that $1,000 on something crazy. So yeah, I'm about to make this purchase. Now, I've been buying cryptocurrency all morning long, but I'm not gonna buy that much, because it is what it is. Let's see. That's 161. I used to get a lot more for that $50, but it is what it is. Anyway, this has been your boy Ferris. I want to remind you guys to be blessed, not stressing, always to be motivated by success. And I will see you guys on a piece of the world. Invest.